Well, let's just play around in some of these and just kind of let's do the executive summary for a second.
So it's already a preloaded
Yeah,
template?
because I
Reloaded.
think with the exception of banks, reports is probably going to be the
Yeah,
next
yeah.
hit list of things that accountants and bookkeepers are going to be mostly concerned with
Hmm.
Well, and
in their general ledger.
I have another tip, and I might get a TED approval on this one, is that the find and recode our reclassification tool that we have in QBO. It's really robust in this particular software. It's amazing. I can do things pretty quick inside the software and I like it. But this is one of the reports. This is pretty neat. I used this when I was having a conversation with a client and they're like, "Are you sure we're up?" And I was like, I said, "Well, okay, let's take a look." And these were way up and they were by,
Yeah, I like
100
this
to
report.
200%. And I had to show them like, "Oh, our average invoices, that's how many invoices we create." And this is a Clio to Xero conversion. So this data was coming in from a software and this was reporting it for me. It was beautiful. Let's go.
It's
So
easy
this,
for the client too, when you see the up and the down arrows that,
yeah, yeah.
Sarah, do you know if does Zero have time tracking at all, or you have to get that with your payroll?
There is I don't know if it's right here, time entries, all projects. On these demo files, it's always hard to know. Staff
Yeah.
permissions, staff cost rates. It's in the project. So the project is a adder that you can add.
That was a question somebody asked too, because that's the other thing is that when you buy Zero, you add on the pieces that you like, and then you pay extra for it. But that was
Yeah.
another one. You have projects and
Yeah.
keep track by project.
What was really nice, I will say, Christy Monahan, dear friend of mine, we were on council together and we're talking. She's really specialtied in nonprofits. That's her background. She was construction nonprofits. Anyways, we were talking about this and we did a test model on the demo file, and it was actually really cool. She's like, "Oh, I could use this for nonprofits very easily."
Can
So,
you can you cost code?
well, look right here. Yeah, you can. I mean, well, cost code.
Like adding the client name to let's just say advanced client cost because that's lawyer stuff. Can
Yeah,
you
let's
Lawyer
add
speak.
yeah, so if
but if
you go
you're doing
here,
job costing, basically.
oh, those are expense claims. Yeah, so when you're entering a cost, let me go back over here. And mind you, we spend a lot of times in professional services and we actually work in other
Industries.
industries. So Linda and I, a lot of that stuff doesn't pertain in the ledger for us. However, right here, so they've got their hub doc thing as you saw.
Yeah.
You
Hub
can
docs included, right?
on the middle tier. It's
Right,
included.
right.
So that's a win.
That's worth the whatever you extra pay because it's a good way to pull in receipts and saves a ton of time.
I'll just put this into the first thing. Look right here. Assign expenses to customer or project right here.
Perfect. Hmm.
So you can assign it, you can tell it what project, which I thought I saw this, yeah. Assign. So it's inside of there and I've assigned the expense there.
So
You
new spend money isn't adding an expense?
It's adding an expense and it's versatile. You can do it with
It's a
the
bill or
savings
an expense,
account or you can do a bill, very similar to what we're used to. So
just different
again,
terminology, yeah.
yeah, terminology, it's translate. The other thing too is these tracking. So if you are working with brokers, real estate brokers offices, I use this I have so many of these regions. I have regions by sale. I have regions by the individual who sold. I've got a whole section of things and I can build all these out. Well, it's easy for me to use this. And once you save, we'll just put it on the east side. I'm on the east side in Portland, so let's just do that. You save it, it's got it in here. You can quickly go view it. Hey, I liked that so much. I'm just going to go ahead and copy it, do it again. If it was paid by a check and you want to reference a check number, you can note that there. So I do want to take you all to what's called the find and recode. And this is like our reclass tool that we have. And you can set up criterias of what it is. Like what if you want to find and recode on a contact, which you cannot do. So let's do that, Abby Wells, and let's search to see if we got nothing
Yeah,
in
pick
there.
one. No.
I gotta find one.
Womp womp.
Willow Properties. Okay, I just did this Willow Properties, and guess what? I am not keen on the name. So, oh, let me go back. I'm sorry. Let me show you all this that you saw that you can recode source or with a manual journal right from here.
Mm.
These are the features. I can change the contact name if I need to. What if Abby Wells or the Willow Properties was spelled wrong and I just want to get it all fixed? I can. I can change the account where it sits, if it had a tax rate.
So you
And I
can
can
change
do
it right here in this screen. You don't
yeah,
have to.
yeah.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and you can have your regions. So all your class trackings, which is our region, like our market track. I'm trying to think of the word. It's escaping me today. But anyways, we can do that as well. So we can do all of these and then review, cancel, move on, or whatever you want to do. So this find and recode is you can do it by entered tax rate. I mean, it's like criteria is amazing. This tool has saved me when I have found like, oh my gosh, you guys just threw all of Amazon into Ask. I'm just gonna
It's
go
not office supplies? I thought it was.
and it's like 5 million Amazons, marketplace, web, blah blah blah. Okay, I'm gonna change the contact name. I'm gonna clean that up. I'm gonna change where it's gonna go, and off I move. And so yeah, I know it's not office supplies, Linda. No, no, no.
So
um,
you had Sarah, you had kind of or I think it was Linda actually said that Xero is kind of in line with QuickBooks Online Essentials or Plus, depending on the flavor. What is the version ecosystem of Xero
yeah.
when you're kind of looking at, well, what what flavors do they have, and who might be a good fit for one over the other?
I tend to utilize there's a different variety. I can say I've got my what we call write-ups. Linda and I have these write-up clients and year-end stuff where they're literally just, at the end of the year. So I'll go in and have them on a ledger. So essentially like a cash book ledger or ledger.
Which they had Ledger way before QuickBooks had Ledger.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's fairly inexpensive, isn't it? The Ledger one?
Oh, there's ones that are just for us advisors too.
Which is
There's
what QuickBooks is, same thing.
yeah. So let me bring over the pricing down and kind of bring that in to
And
I typically
$2.
yeah. On sale, everyone's got the sale. I typically rest in growing. I have a little bit in not very many. In fact, I should look again and see who's in
But
established.
it's really not $2. It's the 20, right? Because I mean,
Yeah,
that's a little
yeah.
deceptive there.
Yeah.
But look at what's
But
considered
still 20.
early. You still get
Mhm.
an early. I mean, if you're not a high volume,
Yeah.
which I have a few of these folks that are in other apps, they don't have a lot of things that they're doing. They're bringing in the data. This works perfectly for them. A photographer that's not really spinning out bills through here, let's say that they use a different app or they're just dedicated subcontractor for one group.
Somebody
My,
said you get as many users as you want too. Is there no extra charge for users or you don't have to bump up?
yeah, exactly. I mean, I
Okay,
don't
that's
have,
interesting too.
I don't, sorry, now my mouse has
Is
Dan.
there an Amazon app that connects? Because somebody wrote that, Becca wrote that connecting the Amazon app and QBO is necessary for her and what she does. Is there one
I'd have
in?
to look in the ecosystem. That's a great question. I mean, so right here, explore the Xero App Store. You can go in there and like QBO could go in and take a look. But again, there are ways to make apps connect that in this AI space of ours that you could do at a low code through Make or Zapier or those types of things and not squish in all this data that's unnecessary if it's
Right.
built a certain way. You could build it a different way. So,
Yeah, because there's always that works with
uh-huh.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
Works with QuickBooks, works with Xero,
Yeah.
where the devil is always in the details, right? And
Exactly. Yeah.
you can be the angel and make your own details through some other manner, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even have a compare button there. You could go
They
on
do. They
compare
have
versus
this.
QuickBooks.
Yeah. So you
I'm
put
sure it's slanted in a certain way, but yeah.
well, they've got, they can show you kind of what
Hmm.
you're,
Yeah,
what's
what you're
plus.
buying that's the
Yeah.
same.
So just giving you an idea of what this looks like. So you could go onto this and look at the different versions, I guess.
Now, as a QuickBooks Pro Advisor or a Xero accounting partner,
Yeah.
what kind of like certifications, training
Oh,
does somebody have
yeah.
looking to get familiar with Xero?
Yeah. So they have this, I actually really appreciate it. So getting certified, obviously, like QuickBooks, it takes a bit longer for you to get certified on the front end. You have these very relatable certification videos with some tests, questions, and it's very intuitive learning. Recerting is super easy. You make
I
sure,
heard from the ladies that the research was just silly. It's very easy. It's not like
well, but
you
it's
have to
on, but if you think about it, Linda,
it's on the new stuff.
it's on the new stuff. It's
Mhm.
on the relevant stuff. It's very bite-sized. I mean, honestly, do we honestly have time to get
No,
certified?
I don't want them spending hours on a
Yeah,
test
yeah. So,
clocked in.
so, but
Yeah.
yes, it's to say silly, that's fine, but I really say like it's more intuitive because it's more here and now, and it's honoring our time as busy business owners, and I think that's the really key essential. Um,
And certifying is important because recertifying is important. If you've gotten
oh yeah,
certification for sure, it's important, but recertifying because you want to, I learn something every time I do a recertification, as much as I grumble about
yeah,
having to do it. You don't, unless you're watching every in the know webinar with Intuit, you're not going to know every single thing that's happening. And it's good that you're able to get certified on what's going on and keep your certifications. It's important, even if it's, with Intuit, we had a good, I built my business on the ProAdvisors and the leads coming in. I got advanced certified, which is now level 2. And I built my business off of that. And then that has changed as well, where most of the leads I get, I don't trust that they're not some kind of a spam. So that's not a source. You don't only want to have one source of leads anyway. That's not recommended, but for sure, that's not how I would build my business today.
It seems like Sarah, that where Xero is today, uh, as far as like the core functionality is especially when there's real world implications like money going out or money going in, that
mhm,
they have built a partnership with what I guess would be like a gold standard, right? Like a connection to
yeah,
bill.com or go, you mentioned Gusto for payroll.
yeah,
Doesn't mean that you are pigeonholed into only using that as a
precisely.
solution,
Yeah,
but they already have a way to be able to do those things. Whereas looking at apples and apples comparison of QuickBooks Online versus Xero today, Intuit has kind of taken on those tasks themselves
hmm, hmm,
for the preferred
yeah,
method of being able to do those things. Whereas Xero is they're partnered with Bill for bill payment. They're partnered with Gusto for payroll
hmm,
for those
yeah.
those initial things. Would you say that's kind of
That's
a fair comparison right now?
absolutely. And what they're also doing is, you've got, I'm in the sales module, you've got the different kind of workflows, I guess you could say, and they've built this way. This has not changed in a while. I know the invoicing has changed, but they do, like you're saying, they have